Hello student, I am Dr. Shashank Sahu from Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Computer Science Department. Today I am going to discuss on the topic cookies, and it is the from subject Web Technology cases 602, and this topic is from the 5th unit. First of all, we understand what is the cookies. Cookies are basically text files. These are files that will be stored at the client computer. So whenever we are accessing any website, some information is stored in your client computer and it may be needed later for tracking of user. For that purpose, we are storing some information in text files and we call as a cookies. Now, there is a Java servlet. With the help of this technology, we can access the cookies as well as we can store the cookies. And basically, these cookies supporting the HTTP cookies, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So in this video, I will discuss how to program the cookies with the help of the servlet. Now, first of all, what is the main purpose of the cookies? So suppose you are accessing a website and again you are coming back to access the same website, then server should be able to identify you, or you can say web developer, any website owner able to identify to you. So we need to find out our user characteristics. For that purpose, we need some information. So what we are doing, server save the script and send these cookies to the browser, and information like name, age and identification numbers are stored in your client computer to get it returned back for the information. So when the next time browser sends any request to the web server, then it sends those cookies information to the server. So basically what is happening is, so when you are accessing a website, then the server will send a script in, and this script will save the cookies in your browser or in your client machine. When the same user is accessing the website, then these cookies will return back to the server, and server will extract the information like name, age and any other information related to the user. Now, generally cookies are set in the HTTP header. So if browser is configured to store these cookies, so it will then keep this information until expiry date. So when we store the cookies, we are set the age of the cookies also. So after some time, after the age of the cookies, cookie will deleted from the client machines automatically. Now, before starting the program of the cookies, let me discuss about some of the functions related to cookies. So one of the function is set domain. So we can set the domain to which cookies will apply. So you can fix the domain, and if you want to retrieve the domain which is already set, then we are using the function get domain. So we can extract the information related to domain. Now, very important function related to cookies is setting its age. So it can be set with the help of set max age, and we are giving the period of age for 24 hours, 12 hours. So that information will pass as an argument to this function. So cookies age will be set. Next is you want to know about what is the age of the cookies, then we'll use the function get max age, and you can also get the name of the cookies with the help of the get name function, and you can set the value associated with the cookies with the help of set value function. You can get the value related to cookies with the help of the get value functions. So these are methods when we are programming for the cookies. We can use these methods. Then you can bind cookies for a particular path also. So for example, you can set the path to which these cookies will apply. If you don't specify the path, the cookies will return for all the URLs. So you can fix the cookies for a specific URL. Then whatever you set for a path, you can retrieve with the help of the get path. Now it is also possible you can secure your cookies when the boolean value indicating whether the cookie should only send over the encrypted SSL connection. So when this method will be set, then cookies will move from server to the client machine only with the help of SSL certification. Set comment, you can set some information related to cookies in the cookies, and we call as a comment, and you can retrieve the comment also with the help of get comment method. So these are some methods by which we can go for the programming. If you broadly look for these methods, it is basically for setting the domain, setting the age of the cookies, get the name, setting the values in the cookies, as well as setting the path and transferring the cookies on the secure socket layer, and you can set the comments also. These are some of the broader functions for programming on the cookies. Next, we are going to do the programming on the cookies with the help of the sublet. First of all is to create a cookie object. If you go for the programming part, then creating the cookie object is we are using the class cookie, and then we are giving the name of the variable which will be used as a cookie. So here the name of the variable is key name. So remember, this class is responsible to create the cookie variable. When we create a cookie variable, you can set the value and name of the cookie variable. So remember, here I am again emphasizing the value that will be stored in the cookie variable has two values, or you can say one pair. One is key and second is value. The key is the part by which we will retrieve the value of the cookies. So whenever you are referring the cookies, you will use the key, and with the help of the key, we can get the value of particular cookies. Now, some of the information neither the name nor the value should contain white spaces, any of the following. So these are some of the restrictions when we are creating the cookie variable. So when the cookie has been created, next job is to setting the age of the cookies. For that, we are using the function set max age. So we are passing the value here 16 to 24. That is, in this case, we are setting the cookie for 24 hours. After 24 hours, this cookie will expire automatically. Third step is to sending the cookies to the client machine. To send the cookies to client machine, we are using the variable response. Basically, it is the object, predefined object. In sublet, we need to create it. In JSP, it is already available. So we are using response object, then we are calling the function add cookies, and we are giving the cookie variable name here. So when this statement is executed, it will store the cookies at the client side. So what I discussed, three important steps. First is to create the cookie with the help of class cookie. Second is to set its age, that is 24 hours, any other hours you can set it. Third is to call the cookie function add cookies to store the cookies from server to the client machine. These three steps are important. Next, I am going to discuss a very basic example, how to write a program for storing the cookies. Then after storing the cookies, we will retrieve the cookies. So in this example, we are storing first and last name. So we are taking the two values only. We are using an HTML page to retrieve the value of first name and last name which is entered by the user. So basically it is a HTML page to get the value from the user. It is a simple page. We have a text box here. So there are two text boxes. The first text box is to get the value of first name, and internal name of this text box is first name. Second text box is to get the value of last name, and internal name of this text box is last name. So when we access these two text boxes with the help of the program, so we will use first name and last name because these are the name of the text boxes. And then we are using the submit button. So when we click on the submit button, the form data will be submitted. It will submit it to the sublet hello form. It is a sublet name. So, and it will submit the data with the help of the method get. So when we click on the submit button, the data that you entered in these two text boxes will be submitted to the sublet hello form. Next, I am going to discuss what is the coding of the hello form sublet. Basically, it is creating the cookies as well as storing the value that you entered in a form of cookies to the client machine. So it is a program of hello form sublet. This is the name of the class, and it is a sublet because we are extend this class from HTTP sublet. So basically this sublet is dedicated for the HTTP protocol. Now in sublet, the important method is do get. I already discussed in the previous HTML code that we are sending the data with the help of the get method. So whatever we program in the sublet will do in do get method. So do get method will receive two object, creating the two object. One is request and second is response. So request object is used to receive the data from the HTML form, and response object is to send the data from server to the client, that is client browser. Now request is of type HTTP sublet request and response is of type HTTP sublet response. So if there is any problem, it will throw the exception, sublet exception and IO exceptions. So within the do get, we need to do the programming for the cookies. So to create a cookie variable, first of all, we need to create a variable of type class cookies. So these class is already available in the package javax.sublet.star. So you need not to worry to creating this cookie class. You should think about creating the cookie variable. So here the first name is the variable of type cookie, or you can say first name is the object. Basically it is the object of the class cookies, and in this object we are initializing with two parameters. The first parameter is the key value. Again we have given the first name, and second is the value. So we are getting the value from the text box. To get the value from the text box, this is the text box, first text box. You have entered some value. We want the value from this text box. So we are using the request method, request, and then we are calling the request is the object, and we are calling the method get parameter and passing the name of the text box. So whatever you type in the first text box, value will be retrieved and it will be stored in the cookie as a value, because this second argument is the position of the value. The first argument is the position of the key. So we have created a one cookie object that is first name, and it consists of one key, first name, and value that you enter in the text box. Second, we are creating the second object of type class cookies, and this object is responsible to store the last name value. So here the key value is the last name, and we are using the request.get parameter to get the value of the second text box, that is the last name. So whatever you type in the second text box will be stored as a value in this last name object. So basically we have the two object, or you can say two cookies variable, we can say informally, but formally these are the cookies objects, first name and last name. Next part is we have to set the age of these cookies. So we are using here like first name is the cookie object, and we are using the method set max age, and then we are using 16 to 24 for setting this age is up for 24 hours. Similarly, we are using the last name and setting is age 16 to 24 for 24 hours. Now we have created the two cookies, first name and last name. We have set the age of these two cookies. Next job is to store these cookies at the client machine, or you can just send the cookies from server to the client. So we can send the cookies from server to the client with the help of the response method, and we are calling the add cookies method. Response is the object that we have created here. Okay. So response is the object and add cookie is the method. We are passing the cookie object here, first name. Same for the second, response is the object and it is responsible to send the data from server to the client, and we are using the method add cookie of this object, and we are passing the last name is the name of the cookie. So with the help of these two statements, we are storing the two cookies, first name and last name, at the client machine. So this is the first program. We have discussed two programs. One is HTML program to get the value from the user, and second we are calling a sublet to create the cookies as well as setting the age of the cookies and storing the cookies from server to the client machine. Now we have a third program, is to read the cookies. Whatever we store at the client machine, we are able to read it. Okay. To read the cookies, we are using the method of get cookies. So this is the get cookies method. So we look for the program first. So this is the program by which we can create, we can read the cookies. Okay. Now for reading the cookies, first of all, we are creating the two variable. One is simple object cookie of type cookie. Second, we are creating the array of the cookies, because there may be more than one cookies. So better to store or get all the cookies from the client system, and then we analyze one by one. So therefore, we are creating an array object to store the list of the cookies which are already stored at the client machine. Now to get all the cookies which are available at the client machine, we are using request is the object, then get cookies method is responsible to retrieve all the cookies from the client machine and store in the array cookies. Next job is in this program, whatever the cookies we retrieve from the client machine, to display the value of each cookies to the audience or to the user. For that, first of all, we are checking if the cookie is not null. Obviously, if the cookies are available, this condition will be true. Then we are using the for loop to move from each cookies, retrieve each cookies from the array and display its value. So it will start from I equal to 0, and it for loop will go from cookies to the length, that is the number of cookies. And we are taking one cookie, the first cookie in the variable of cookie. Then we are using the to method get name to display the key value of the cookies, get value to display the value of the cookies, which is already binded with the name of the cookies. And then we are displaying with the out dot print method to display the value in the browser. So I discussed about three programs. One is for HTML program to get the value from the user. Second, I discussed this is the program to create the cookies and store the cookies at the client machine. And the third program to read the cookies which are already stored at the client machine. Then displaying the values of the cookies at the client browser. Second question will come, how to delete the cookies from the sublet. Suppose you have already stored some cookies at the client machine and you want to delete one of the cookies. Yeah, you want to delete all the cookies. What are the methods? So method is very simple. We just set the age of that cookie to 0. When age of that cookie will be set to 0, it will the cookie will be deleted from the client machine. Okay. So we are showing an example for this one. So the example that I am going to discuss will delete an existing cookie's name first name, and when you run these read cookies sublet, next time it will return only the first name as a null value because we have already deleted it. So this is the program to delete the cookies. Here you can see we have created one cookie object, then we have created the cookie arrays, and we have retrieved all the cookies, and then we check whether the cookies is not null. It is not null because we have already stored the cookies at the client machine. Then we take one cookie object from the list of the cookies arrays, and this is important. We want to delete the cookie with name first name. So we retrieve the value name of the cookie from get name and compare it to the first name. If the comparison is okay, true, then it will obviously return 0. So this if condition will be true, and we are setting the name of this cookies, or you can say age of this cookies to 0, and again returning back to these cookies to the client machine. So when age is 0, this cookie will not store at the client machine, and when we will retrieve these cookies, it will return the value null, that is cookie has been deleted at the client machine. So you can print just for information at the browser which cookie has been deleted with the help of cookie.getName. So till now I discuss about what is the cookies, and I discuss two important program. One is to create the cookies as well as store the cookies at the client machine. That is the first program, which consists of three programs, one HTML page, second is for storing the cookies, and third is for reading the cookies. Then I discuss about how to delete the cookies by setting the age of that cookie to 0. So if there is a no age is mentioned, and if you return back at the client machine, the cookie value will not be available when you are reading the next time. Next, I am going to run these program in the NetBeans 8.0. So you can feel it when the program will run, what will be the output. Okay, so this is the NetBeans and in which we have one HTML page, and in this HTML page we have first name and last name, and we have the submit button. When we submit on this button, then it will move to the store cookies program. It is a sublet program. This is the store cookie program. So you can see it. We are using the NetBeans. So the name of this method is process request. Now main part is we have created two cookie object, first name and last name, and we are taking the value of this text box from first name underscore first underscore name, last underscore name. The value of this text, these two text boxes will be stored in this cookies variable. Then we are setting the age that I already discussed in the PPT, and we are storing these values in the at the client machine. Second program is for reading the cookies. So for reading the cookies, we have created two variables. One is simple object, second is the array of the objects. Then we are getting all the cookies which are already available at the client machine. Then we are checking if the cookies is not null. If it is not null, we are using the for loop to move from each cookies from the list of the cookie arrays, and then we are displaying the value of each cookies with the help of the get name and get value. So I'm running this program. We have three programs. One is input form.jsp, second is store cookies, and third is read cookies. So to run this program, we have to start from input form.jsp, right click and run the file. Now you can see this HTML page has already running, and we can give here first name and last name. So first name, suppose we have given Amit Kumar, and last name is for example Sharma, Amit Sharma, and we click on the submit button. So it is displaying that Amit Sharma cookies are already stored, you can see. Okay. So next part is we need to retrieve the cookies that we have already stored at the client machine. So we call this sublet program. Basically it is a Java program. So just click on the read cookies, right click and run the file. So it is just taking some time. Now here you can see we have already stored the value is Amit, name of this key value of the cookie is first name, the value of this cookie is Amit, last name, that is key value of the second cookie is last name, and value is Sharma. Okay. So again I am running this program. You can see this time again changing the name. So name is for example Rajesh and Verma, and we click on the submit button. Rajesh Verma cookies are stored. Go to the NetBean and read cookies, run the file, and when you run the file, this time you can see the first name is Rajesh and last name is Verma. So this is a very good example to learn the basics of cookies and how to program cookies in the sublet. I hope you understand the concept and you will like this video. Thank you very much.